Welcome to Pinson Valley High School in North Jefferson County. I'm Chris Osborne alongside Caleb Turntine. Today we are doing Jeffco Ed TV's Soccer Edition. How's it going?
Oh, I'm excited. Soccer is what I look forward to year-round, and I'm glad to finally be here, finally get this worked out. I'm excited to talk some soccer with you.
So you talked to both the coaches. Tell us a little bit about both teams real quick.
Yeah, Hueytown, this is actually their season opener tonight, so both girls and boys. They are a little young, and they're trying to get some experience in on both of their teams. But when you have that first game, you're looking to get those jitters out of the way. You want to be out here. You're excited. You couldn't ask for better weather to be out here. Then Pinson Valley, we'll start with their girls team. Obviously, we're about to kick that game off. Pinson Valley is 3-1. They have outscored their opponents 13-1 so far this season. They lost their season opener 1-0. Have had 3 straight clean sheets since then. So I expect Pinson Valley maybe to knock off a little bit of nerves, to look pretty comfortable early on, and Hueytown have to kind of get into this game as it goes.
All right, and we're off.
Hueytown is going to start in a 4-2-3-1 formation that's from the back always, and that doesn't count the goalkeeper. 4-2-3-1, that's 4 defenders. You're going to have 2 defensive midfielders or holding midfielders right behind 3 attacking midfielders, and then a striker at the top of the formation. That's Alyssa Burgess. It's a great ball across the middle of the box from Elizabeth Trejo from Hueytown.
And so, Caleb, we're so glad you're here because, you know, a lot of us aren't really familiar with soccer. And so, you know, as you go through, tell us a little bit. You know, obviously the ball just went out, so this will be a corner kick, correct?
This will be a throw-in. It's right next to the corner. If it goes out on the sideline, it's a throw-in. If it goes out over the in-line, it's either going to be a goal kick or a corner kick, depending on who it's out on. Good defending there. I think that ball snuck over the line. It'll be another throw-in for Hueytown. And if you're looking at it, this is going to be your typical high school soccer game look. It will more often than not be played over football lines, which you see a ball cross over the football sideline. That's not out of bounds. It goes an extra few feet, a faded line that you might not be able to see great on the screen, but the refs will certainly see it down on the sideline.
You read my mind, Caleb.
Great run from Courtney Henderson there. Made a defender miss. Might have gotten a Meg there and then ended up getting fouled about 40 yards outside from the goal here. We'll see how they want to play this in. A high line from Hueytown. You're going to see teams trying to draw them off sides, not letting anyone into the box. Pinson Valley is going to wish that they would go in and attack that loose ball a little bit quicker, test this goalie. That's a story in itself, and we'll get to it in a moment because it's not a story that you can really tell in just a quick moment, but certainly an interesting story behind Hueytown's goalkeeping position.
I look forward to hearing about that. So, you know, just in learning the game myself, you know, a lot like there are so many similarities to other sports, not just football, but like basketball, you know, when they are, for lack of a better word, kicking the ball, it's dribbling, right?
It is. That's dribbling is a big part of possession. I think a lot of coaches will tell you passing is the most important part of keeping possession. Dribbling is probably your most important part of actually attacking moving forward. Trying to get through the defense. That's things you'll do more solo than as a team. Long ball forward here. That was an offside, which I'm sure we will get to also at some point as an offside will probably be called, and we'll get to explain that rule. That's one that you kind of have to explain as it happens. I can't show you unless I'm with salt and pepper shakers if you're a Ted Lasso fan. Best way to describe it there is long ball forward. Pinson Valley trying to chase this ball down.
Goalie getting some early work in there. Hey, while we got kind of not a break, but let's take a look at some of these starting lineups.
Yeah, as mentioned, Hueytown runs a 4-2-3-1. Elizabeth Trejo, Alyssa Burgess, and Allie Corona are going to be your 3 forwards.
Oh, save there.
It's another big save from Natalia Fitz. Hueytown has not had soccer experience in her life, and she is already up to 3 saves in this one. Early chance from Pinson Valley. Good pressure.
All right, let's take a look at the other part of that lineup for Pinson Valley.
Yeah, Pinson Valley, we've already seen Courtney Henderson. She's obviously someone they want to get going at the top of their attack. They told me that they like to run a 1-3-4-2. So, in essence, that's going to look a lot like a 4-4-2. That one in the back of the defense is going to work as a sweeper. Once again, a quick attack from Pinson Valley. Hueytown fortunate not to have a handball called there as they look to break the other way.
So, Kate, let's talk about the game. What kind of shape do you have to be in to be a soccer player?
Well, you have to be in really good shape, obviously, and I think you're seeing at this point in the season, Pinson Valley just a week of games, Hueytown with no games before tonight. They actually switched this game to be 35-minute halves as opposed to 40-minute halves, which will be used for area and championship play. But you got to get into shape. You got to get into soccer shape. You hear that when you go from players go from football to basketball season, basketball to track, whatever it is. These are players that need to get into soccer shape, and it's nonstop running. You can't, it's not all about just one big sprint because then you'll be tired, for the rest of the time. But you also have to be able to have something in your tank when you do need to sprint. You're going to see that. And ideally, especially if you're the team who on the attack, that ball stayed in. It's a great run by Carolina Ramirez.
And if you're just joining us, thank you again for watching Jeff Coed TV. The Golden Gophers wearing the black bottoms with white tops, and Pinson Valley with their traditional maroon with gold trim. And we are at Pinson Valley High School.
We can feel like every time we're on one of these broadcasts we talk about the weather, but man, with as cold as it has been, and we've had some rain. I think today some places around Alabama set record heat. So it's you might think it's a little warm right now, but boy, it feels good up here. We got a little bit of a breeze.
A little bit of a breeze, probably what would you say, about 72 degrees, maybe 70. It's beautiful watching the sunset go down.
It's really good defending there. Looks like Viviana Boone getting the stop, drawing the foul. Courtney Henderson nearly tried to get onto the inside, onto her right foot at the top of the box.
Here's the thing. Typically soccer not high scoring, right? A lot of defense, a lot of footwork. Very interesting to watch. But talk to us about if this ends in a tie.
Yeah, in a tie, that can come down to a coach's decision. Chances are they will just end it in a tie. You don't need to play any extra time. You don't need to. Sometimes I've seen in non-section games, non-area games, that coaches say, hey, let's do a penalty shootout, get a little practice in, whatever, before you move on. It would still go down in the official record books as a draw to your record. But I have seen teams say, let's just separate it just for the kids' sake, for bragging rights' sake, whatever, when it's not in area play. In area play or section play, they will break ties, and they do 5-minute extra periods. And that's where experience of the goalkeeping position could come in huge there. Natalia Fitz already with a couple of big saves for Hueytown. But staying in her goal, not coming out to get that loose ball, certainly could have been dangerous if Courtney Henderson was allowed to get back to that ball, and we have our first corner kick of the game here.
So if I can make a comparison, so the defenders are a lot like the linebackers or the safeties, if you will. All right, let's have another look.
Yeah, I think that's going to go down as a goal. It looked like there was a handball call for a second right there at the line. Kind of threw her shoulder into it. It ended up bouncing in. I think that goal is going to go to Mariana Mendoza. That's a fantastic corner kick. Put it right into the dangerous position. Cleared off the line momentarily and just knocked in by Mendoza. As it looked like some players looked like they stopped playing. The goal is not going to count, as the handball is called They're going to award a penalty, even though the ball went in eventually.
So I really think that player, Stacy, I think that she was confused that she was playing volleyball. I saw her take the volleyball position, and then she kind of shook her head. You know, and again, high school athletes, a lot of them play dual sports, and sometimes you have to kind of reset.
Well, that was a great opportunity. Again, that's why you look at things like advantage. I think Pinson Valley might have rather had that played out. That would have been a goal. They ended up calling the handball, awarding the penalty, and Nadia Vilas put that just high.
All right, Caleb, now you know in basketball I'm famous for saying, and one. So I'm going to have to think of something really creative for a goal scored here.
Well, we nearly had one. Of course, one that ended up being ruled out as a whistle blew before the goal was awarded. Certainly a bit of controversy there. Good shoulder-to-shoulder play by.
So let's talk about how physical this game is. You just saw, girls going after it, getting knocked to the ground. Tell us about the physicality of soccer.
Yeah, I think it depends on what kind of player you are, what kind of team, what kind of style you want to play. You're going to see a lot more physical play inside either box. Another big save from Natalia Fitz there.
Is that like 5 for her already?
I have her down for 4, and then the penalty doesn't go down as a save, but it was a miss. So goalies will love to claim that. If you miss a penalty against the goalie, they don't care if they saved it or not. That's on them. They stopped the penalty. And that's her first penalty ever faced in the game, and it didn't go in, so I'm sure she's going to take that one. It's going to be an easy offside call there. It looked like 3 Pinson Valley players were ahead of the last defender when that ball was flicked forward. Pinson Valley has been in control. We haven't seen the ball in Pinson Valley's half for a while. Hueytown next is to push through here, but dribbles out of bounds. Looked up, had a runner down the left side. As again, this is Hueytown's first game. They are trying to find each other, trying to build that chemistry, play with each other.
Yeah, Coach Lindsay Lee for Hueytown, and then on the Pinson Valley side, head coach Stacy Ewing.
And sometimes you'll see play, especially, again, closer to midfield, maybe not necessarily as aggressive. You don't give away any cheap free kick. The goalie should be coming out to get that ball right there. Eventually does. And that's something that'll come with time. Again, Hueytown's starting goalkeeper actually injured her wrist last week. And Hueytown had to find a way to fill that spot. And Coach Lee went to her volleyball team and found 2 sisters, one a senior and one a freshman, the middle blocker, good hands,
right,
good athletic ability. And there's another save from that middle blocker, Natalia Fitz. Yeah, she is up.
And just so
to 5 saves.
Just so we're clear, you're saying this is her first soccer game on the high school level.
Correct.
That is amazing.
It's possible at any level. As the goalkeeping situation, volleyball players, no soccer background. Natalia also plays basketball, but Coach Lee, who coaches both soccer programs, coaches the volleyball program, so she knows these girls, and she said, hey, we trust you in goal right now. You have good hands. You have good instincts. And then her sister is a freshman and say, hey, if you come out here and like it, you might be our starting goalie for the next 3 years.
There you go.
So that's – you can talk about recruiting for other sports. You don't think you might need to do it as much for soccer with as big of a sport as soccer is, but we are still in Alabama. Soccer is not the number one, sport by any means. And you find players that sometimes don't have any soccer experience, and they can still come out here and make an impact.
So a message being run in by one of the players.
Looked like that was a necklace being removed, I believe. Ref had to call her out, and then she walked over, took something off, and ended up calling a foul throw, which will be go over to Hueytown now. 20 minutes into the first week of the season, you're not going to see too many foul throws called.
You know, this is a huge year for soccer in the U.S. with FIFA coming. FIFA, thank you. You say tomato, I say tomato, but you're right. You're right. And so that's exciting. I had a conversation with one of the staffers for the Legion, and they were talking about how excited they are about, you know, that being that close and that some of their players are actually going to be on some of these World Cup teams.
Yeah, it's always exciting. I'm a big World Cup, American Outlaws chapters, watch parties. You know, find one. It'll make it more exciting for you. You don't need to know everything that's going on when you're surrounded, you know, shoulder to shoulder in a brewery or a restaurant or a coffee shop, wherever you are. Those moments will stick with you for a while. I wasn't a huge soccer fan growing up, but a 2010 World Cup moment, Landon Donovan scored against Algeria. I was in Chicago on a church trip. We were sitting with strangers in a little coffee shop. And it's just something that'll stick with you forever, and you'll remember it as part of your soccer fandom. That ball runs away from Mariana Mendoza a little bit there.
So did you play the game?
I didn't play growing up. I started playing pickup in high school and intramurals in college. I coached in Tuscaloosa a little bit. I played adult league a couple of seasons. I've been off for a few months now, but over in Hoover, over in Vestavia, there's a lot of good places where you can easily find access. You know, I'll go to Legion games, supporters club, you know, with the flags and the drums. That's me.
Right.
That's where I'm at. So it's
not a bad place.
It's
to
a
be,
good time.
friend.
There are plenty of options for soccer diehard fans and people who want to get into soccer. It's only growing around Birmingham, around Jefferson County, around Alabama. It's a good through ball. Or Elizabeth Trejo trying to chase that ball down. Good defending from Pinson Valley and smart play to just kick that ball out, get the defense reset. Quick throw in. Trejo nearly wins the ball on another. Kick the ball out.
We have not seen a lot of action with Hueytown attacking.
No, they had an early chance from a ball from Trejo across the front, off the face of goal. This is most extended pressure we have seen since that opener. Trejo wins the ball. It's going to be picked up by Rosa Andres, who is a transfer in this year. Pinson Valley was not sure who their goalie would be. She came in, transferred in, and immediately made an impact. Big surprise for Coach Stacy Ewing in Pinson Valley. A pleasant surprise, as she described it early when I was talking to her before kickoff.
Yeah, you definitely like that as a coach to get those good surprises.
That's a great through ball there. Jayla Andano couldn't get her foot wrapped around it. I think if she had been a little bit more patient, played the ball across to the other side of the goal, to the far post, might have had a better chance. It's going wide.
They've certainly had their chances, right?
They have, and I think you might see right now that there is a little bit of a message that's saying, hey, let's send some shots in. We don't need every chance to be perfect. We don't need, to get the best look at goal. You go and you let it fly where you can. If you get it on target, we want to test this goalie. We want to, we want to see what's going on. That's at any high school level. You don't even have to know the background behind your starting goalie unless they are very experienced and you've played against them before. Early on in high school soccer, test the goalie as much as possible. Figure out what their strengths are. Make them feel uncomfortable. And then eventually find your best chances.
And from a positional standpoint, these are the strikers for the most part that are trying to score. Is that correct? Or
yeah, I mean, it's going to depend, again, on formation and team style. Some teams will play with a one-striker system where they like to go everything through that striker. Some teams will play two strikers. Tonight we're seeing a two-striker system from Pinson Valley, but with two wingers playing very high up. They're arguably playing four forwards right now, especially with how much possession they've had. Hueytown, on the other hand, they have a pretty clear front three. They aren't dropping very much. They have a striker, but they work through their wings more than anything else. And their left winger, Trejo, who I've mentioned several times already, she's actually leading scorer, and she's not considered a striker in this type of formation. They gave me a 4-2-3-1. They're playing more like a 4-3-3 in these first 20 minutes.
A lot of strength in passing that I'm seeing with Pinson Valley, right? Moving the ball around, getting it to their forwards, and getting in a position to have a chance to score a goal.
Yeah, and I think that's right there. They've shown speed. Again, I think taking one or two more dribbles to get into the box before firing a shot. I think that might be the adjustments you start seeing from Coach Ewing. Whether it's here, again, they don't get timeouts. They don't get to make too many changes from the pitch line, but they will stand there. She's giving instructions right now to players who are about to sub in. And so those are the adjustments that you might see, but certainly at halftime I expect Pinson Valley to maybe limit their shots to try to create better chances. Because as you said, they passed the ball pretty well. The final ball has certainly been missing in that final third. But they've had chances, and they keep the pressure on. Right now, that goal is coming. And sometimes you get something like that where it's a loose ball, and Pinson Valley just continues to be the first ones there. Hueytown surviving a rough stretch right now with possession, but they're still defending well when they get their chances. You can tell that they're not trying to slow things up. They want to break the other way. I think they want to get Alyssa Burgess a little bit more involved.
Right.
Number 6 up there, if you would say your true number 9 striker. We've seen a lot of Lisbeth Trejo, but not enough of Alyssa Burgess. That's going to be Hueytown's correction if they get the chance to move forward. Smart defending there by Adriana Mraz. Just going to let that ball run out for a goal kick instead of forcing the issue.
And it appears to me that you want to help your goalie out as much as you can, right? If you can keep the ball from getting down into what we call dangerous territory, and I'm seeing that, and that's pretty admirable for what this game is.
Yeah, for sure. And I think you saw it on Pinson Valley's end when they felt like there's no need to take on extra pressure. We were dominating possession. You saw them kick the ball out down here twice because it was just a more comfortable play for their defenders and for their goalie. Hueytown defenders kind of lacking off right now, thinking they're going to win that ball back, but they haven't. Another big save.
She might be the hero of this game.
I've got her down for 6 so far. That might have been the best chance, certainly the best chance since Pinson Valley's penalty. And definitely had to move to the ball, too. It wasn't just straight at her. Had to move a couple of steps to her left, and a good job of keeping it in front of her without allowing a rebound.
Yeah, that lateral movement was quick. And, I mean, again, kudos to her. First game and just really making it happen.
Yeah, and obviously a soccer ball is going to move differently from a volleyball, but at the end of the day, it is a ball and it's moving, and your eyes have to follow it, right?
That's right.
Eyes have to follow a spin. You have to follow, the speed of a ball, and I'm sure that she has faced a ball moving just as fast as a soccer ball on a volleyball court, if not faster. So you can certainly see what Coach saw on her, and she is proving her coach correct so far in this one.
So 13 minutes left. Again, you're watching Jeffco Ed TV Soccer Edition. Chris Osborne, Caleb Turntime.
That's a good step from the Pinson Valley defender to make sure that didn't break the other way. Allows defenders to get back. It's Courtney Henderson, who somehow looks like she will be one of the players who continuously runs everywhere. She is started as a forward, and she is on ball right now as one of the back 5 defenders. And here comes Trejo again. That touch gets away from her a little bit.
So let's talk about the skill it takes in dribbling and passing in soccer. I mean, obviously, a lot of people haven't played soccer. I've flirted around with it in PE class when I was young, but there's some real skill and some fancy footwork that goes on.
Yeah, it's a practice, right? I think one thing that trainers, coaches will tell you, the first thing, learning what to do in soccer, it's about having a soft touch. Soft first touch, second touch, you have to keep it as close to your feet as possible. Sometimes you want to knock it forward and run it down if your speed is one of your best traits. But no, it's about keeping the ball on a string. You'll hear that term a lot. And it's skill, it's dribbling, but it's just knowing how to control the ball at all times. Pinson Valley going to be called for a little bit of a two-handed push while trying to chase down the ball. Here's some complaints from the crowd. No complaints there from Maddie Aviles, who I spoke to very quickly before the game. She leads Pinson Valley with 4 goals this season. Scored in all 3 of their wins. She was excited to say, will this game be on demand afterwards that we can watch? And she said yes. So
absolutely. Just go to Jeff Coed TV.
Told her it might end up being the game film they go over as well. So we'll give her a shout out. She was certainly excited to know that much. And she was talking about what goal she had scored before this game, and she kind of let it slip, saying 2 goals against Hueytown. She meant Huffman. She said Hueytown. I said, are you speaking this into existence? So if she gets 2 goals tonight, that'll be something that she called before the game. She's chasing this one down right now. Another big save from Fitz. Think she didn't realize she had a little bit more space. Take one more dribble. She might have been able to look up. She had a teammate rushing in from the left side. Could have slid it across.
Right.
So a great run. Good shot.
Yeah, and that just comes with experience, right? Early in the season, knowing where your teammates are, and like you said, taking that extra dribble.
Yeah, and she's someone who is certainly one of their more experienced players. They look to her for a lot this season. She's technically a midfielder. And when a midfielder is scoring that much, you can see how she shifts around. I mean, we've seen Courtney Henderson drop into the midfield here. Maddie Aviles is now the furthest player forward for Pinson Valley in this now what's looking more like a 4-4-2. So they're going to move around and try to find who might have a better strength with control, who they might want to have a better chance of going towards goal, depending on the game, depending on the matchup.
You had a chance to take a quick look at the crowd on this beautiful Thursday evening. Sun starting to set just over the trees there.
I have a feeling the sun's setting. That means these lights are about to be kicked on. I hope someone is in charge of that.
Well, the lights now are LED lights.
They're so quick, right? You don't have to wait 15 minutes.
When I was growing up, you had to turn the lights on an hour before the game.
So you talk about like going to a church gym or something. We turn them on before services, so they would be on for after service.
Yes.
Yeah, take them warm up for 10, 15 minutes. Not like that anymore. And you'll see the substitutions that happen. It's different, obviously, from professional soccer. If we do have soccer fans tuning in, you can sub in and out as much as possible. When you sub out, you're not done for the day as you are at professional level. That being said, you do have to wait for dead balls. You have to wait for a dead ball. The ref has to wave you in. As you see a Hueytown player right now waiting to be subbed in at the midway line.
So on the professional level, if you sub out, you're done for the day.
Correct.
Kind of like a pitcher.
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
And teams will have – they used to have 3. That was a pre-COVID thing. It's funny. People had asked for more than 3 for a while. It's now 5, and that's pretty much across the world.
You are just a wealth of soccer knowledge, Mr. Turntime.
Well, that's why I like to surround myself with y'all, because it makes me feel like I'm a wealth of soccer knowledge. Then, you go somewhere else, and I don't know, maybe I'm the one who's considered not very well knowledge, but it's funny. I soccer was not something I grew up with. I probably in middle school I was the kid who soccer. You make fun of soccer being the European sport, But no, I love soccer. It has grown and grown on me, and as anyone who has watched soccer games with me can attest, that it might be the sport that I yell the most about. Basketball is probably number one, I think, but soccer's a close number two. Baseball is probably up there. But soccer, I will tell anyone, the more I understand it's hard to get into, watch a new sport at all. The more you sit down and watch it, it will not take you long. Once you understand any sport, that's me. Once I actually understand a sport, I'm going to be a huge fan.
There's so many things that are so similar, when they are going down the field. It's the equivalent of a fast break, right? In basketball.
Counterattack will be the first. That's the word you want to use for soccer. If they go the other way very quickly instead of a fast break, it'll be called a counterattack.
See, there you go. I learned something new today. And so, but the similarities, how can you not get excited about that?
Yeah, and I know you talked about how, low scoring, and, obviously the goal chances aren't everywhere all the time, but Pinson Valley has had several already, 2 or 3 really good chances, a handful of secondary chances after that. Hueytown had one early on, but you also are like, well, is football really that high scoring? Their goals are just worth more points.
Yeah,
4 touchdowns to 3 touchdowns is 4-3 still. You know? So
true.
Long shot as sustained pressure from Hueytown, first time in several minutes. Ends up going out for a goal kick harmlessly.
So we're under 6 minutes. The score's nil, and you've got the Golden Gophers and the Pinson Valley Indians. And don't forget, coming up next, we've got the boys after this. They'll take the field. So make sure you stay with us right here on Jeff Coed TV.
Good move from Trejo. She has a slide into the middle. Couldn't get her foot around the ball. Again, I don't know if she was going for goal. She slid that right to the center of the box.
Let's have another look here.
Just put it on her left foot. Again, that's one of those things Coach will tell you, keep your head up, look ahead. She had Alyssa Burgess in the middle of the field. Still a great move to create spaces. That touch that just kind of failed her a little bit out wide, because then she has to turn her eyes away from the middle of the field. Another good run from Trejo. She's playing well.
So, Caleb, are most soccer players even-footed? Like, think about basketball where you can dribble with your left.
I'll just stop you there because no. No, they aren't, especially at this level. And it's funny because you would think it's so different because you have to use both. Like, you're playing with both feet out there. But, no, and I think we've seen it. There's a great example. Trejo is obviously left-footed. She has been favoring that left foot the whole game. Just nearly sneaks past the defense there. Run out again. But that continues. Obviously the best players are going to want to be two-footed. You want to be able to play with both. But it's, funny. You can talk about the best players in the world. You can talk about Lionel Messi and how it can obviously use both feet. He can score with both feet. He can dribble with both feet. But his left foot is just so much better than his right foot. And that's just how it works. That's just part of the game, and that's part of being a soccer player. And it's also part of knowing your opponent. Because if you're Pinson Valley's back four right now, you're thinking cover Trejo's left foot. And that's why you saw 2 defenders crash on her left foot. It's going to be called a foul. A little bit unlucky from Alyssa Burgess. She was trying to attack the ball and just kind of rolled away from her. She ran a little bit too hard into the defender. Hueytown with a good recovery to survive that onslaught from Pinson Valley early in the game. Now Hueytown with a little bit more possession in the last couple of minutes. Either team is looking to get a breakthrough here before halftime. And that's a play that looks like a great through ball, a great run down the sideline, and then that's the argument of soccer maybe shouldn't be played on turf. Moves a little. It's almost like a different game when you're on turf as opposed to grass, and obviously at the high school level, turf is easier to maintain.
Right.
And you have the turf fields available from football season. Whoa, a great move. And there is the breakthrough. Goal! And Maddie Aviles, a great move to get inside. This little drop of the shoulder between 2 defenders. shrugs off the defender as well. It shows a little bit of skill, a little bit of strength, and as good of a half as Natalia Fitz has had. Aviles fits that shot into the near post. That's the difference in volleyball and soccer. You want to hit the ground to go after that instead. Great finish from Aviles. Great move to open up space for herself.
Nicely done. That was beautiful.
Just over 32 minutes into this game, which, again, you want more soccer talk. There's 2:54 on the clock. That goal came in the 33rd minute, would be how you would say it.
All right.
And that is that's going to be tough to swallow if you're Hueytown. A good defensive half. You gave up chances, but you survive. You know, bend, don't break. It's in every sport. And to be able to hold off for 32 minutes to give up a goal there right before half, tough pill to swallow.
It certainly is. But no reason for her to hang her head on one goal because, I mean, she has done a yeoman's job for, again, this first outing for her.
I think if you're asking someone to come in and be your spot goalkeeper and you ask for 7 saves in a whole game, you're probably happy. 7 saves in one half, certainly impressive. She thought she could cross that in with her left foot. Ball she wishes she probably would have just let go, would have gone out for a corner kick for Pinson Valley. Instead, it'll be a goal kick for Hueytown.
So the sun is now setting and lights aren't on. So, hey, pay the light bill? I know we did.
I wasn't supposed to be in charge of that, was I?
No. I think they got it.
I need to. A slight overhead on that pass. It was the right idea. Had a little bit of a 2-man game going between Burgess and Trejo up top. Opportunity there to run 2-on-3. Maybe for the first time all night. Pass went just a little heavy.
There are the lights.
And as you said, they would come on immediately. There would be no adjustments. Good defending, looks like.
You know, the good thing about soccer, Caleb, is we just get to let our Jeff Co-Ed audience watch, right? There's not a lot that we have to talk about because the game speaks for itself, and we hope that you all appreciate that at home, that we want you to hear some of the sounds. We want you to see the action and not just talk uncontrollably for an hour or so.
Well, we'll explain the rules. We'll explain, calls or tactics that come here and there. But you're right. A lot of the tactics are set before the game. A lot of the plays you're seeing, you can see them. We don't need to tell you what you're seeing. Certain times you will. But, yeah, it's a little different from, like, this person has the ball to this person has the ball to this person has the ball. One, because you're not going to be able to do that, in soccer for the most part. It's just going to go into halftime at 1-0.
I don't know if you remember the corner game. They had a young lady who was a kicker. I think she started out playing soccer. She was the hero in corner play Gardendale last year, and I think she made something like 4 kicks. But, guys, we're going to take a break. You're watching Jeff Co-Ed TV, Soccer.
They're starting to gain skills that they would be able to use in the movie, television, theme park, theater industry. So we're going to talk about some fake blood. We've talked about fake blood in various lessons.
If you like making stuff, you want to be in here for sure. And if you like spooky stuff, you want to be in here because we pretty much get to sit around and make monsters, and we get graded for it in high school. So that's pretty cool.
No, it's not all scary. We make stuffed animals.
I love him.
And we learn how to sew and to build props that are just very innocuous sort of things that we just can't find in stores. But yeah, it's not all blood and gore in here, no. When the injury occurs, it comes out.
To me, it's another form of art. You get to learn new things you never learned before.
How to just take something so boring and so plain and so basic and put magic in it.
There are definitely going to be jobs for our students in the future, just locally, so they don't have to go off to Atlanta or LA to have jobs. They can be here.
It's just really interesting. It's a good class. Mr. Screws makes the class fun.
Excellent question. Love that you're asking that. I want all prospective students to understand how unique of an opportunity our special effects program is. There are only 3 in the entire world at the high school level, and the other 2 are just outside of Los Angeles, California. So for our students in Jefferson County, this is a very unique and very special opportunity they have. You can totally use clear school glue.
It's just a fun class.
If you want a career as a mechanic, this is a great start because I've already gotten to my first year of college through this.
We teach them basic knowledge. You know, there's different subsystems of the vehicle. You have your braking system, your cooling system, all those different systems. We teach them the basics, teach them the components, how they work together, and then how to diagnose said components. And in that, they get a lot of hands-on experience. We do a lot of work where they get to actually do these repairs on vehicles.
This academy has helped me for my future, mainly because they taught us how to change brakes, oil changes, transmissions, anything in that nature. They helped us fabricate some things. And in the future, since I want to be having my own shop later on, I want to have a performance shop, which also includes fabrication and all of that stuff, taking off parts, adding parts.
Credentialing body or the certification body for automotive technicians is ASE. And through this program, we offer students a chance to pass up to 9 ASE tests, which will translate to helping them get jobs in the future.
This is probably one of the best things I've ever done. It's very fun. You get your hands dirty. If you like getting your hands dirty, this is a thing you would want to do.
Not a lot of schools offer this program.
You know how far apart these 2 circles are supposed to be.
Our main concern is getting students college and career ready.
You're ready for Part 4 today, right? Okay.
So we start off getting kids credentialed.
Because in your first year, you get certified in an app and you get your CCRI.
And so once they pass that credential phase, then they're able to start on projects and go deeper into whatever concepts they're interested in.
They get to learn like the basic skills of engineering.
So they can go into a engineering field, so if they're interested in going to the next step in college, they can do that very easily.
I remember walking in and I was like surprised at how many robots, like machines there were in here.
Anybody who likes to tinker and play with just things they don't know yet.
Mr. Critter has a lot of things for us to do, to build.
Anybody with a mechanical mind is fantastic. You don't necessarily have to know all the math. Okay, and then we're going to tell that rectangle exactly how big it needs to be, and is willing to not give up.
Tickets will be sold at the door on the day of homecoming, or you can get tickets now from Miss Cohen or Miss Lane.
Giving out your own ideas and creativity and applying it to stuff, it opens you up to be more excited to come here. When you film it and you're interacting with people, it's like wonderful. It makes you feel excited to come and explore every day.
Love the energy, great.
So I teach them how to record, how to video, how to edit, how to interview people. They're learning how to write for broadcast. They're learning how TV production works. how lights work, all the things that go into just putting on production.
I think it's a good opportunity for you to learn more about the field, because a lot of people just think in media you're either going to be on the camera or operating the camera, but there's so much more that goes behind it.
If you mess up anytime, simply push Control-Z and it'll undo whatever you did until you'll be back to where you were.
I think it's awesome that our county provides our students with Adobe Premiere Pro. I mean, this is professional editing software that they're using and learning how to edit on. We have an opportunity for them to get credentialed so that they can say, hey, I am a professional at this. I can go out and get a job in this. And so that's really the biggest thing is like, if you want to do video, if this is a career path that you're interested in, I want to set them up for success.
That was awesome!
You're looking at Pinson Valley High School. Welcome back to Jeff Coed TV. Chris Osborne alongside Caleb Turntine. It is soccer, and you've got the Pinson Valley Indians and the Golden Gophers of Hueytown. So catch us up, Caleb, on what we got going on right now.
Yeah, it was a big first half from Pinson Valley. It looked like they were going to get on the scoreboard early. They had several chances early in the first half. Hueytown goalie Natalia Fitz, who we mentioned several times, her first game with this team, her first soccer game, she had 7 saves, 3 in the first 5 minutes. Pinson Valley didn't miss a penalty in the opening 10 minutes, but eventually Maddie Aviles got Pinson Valley on the scoreboard. Nice drop of the shoulder from the left side of the box, ended up moving in, right-footed shot into the inside of the post. Gave Pinson Valley, and that's where we stand right now, 1-0.
And so I know you had a chance to talk to the coaches ahead of the game, but let's hear what they had to say.
Excited to showcase our program, but being at our first game, you know, there's still some unknowns. We have new players we haven't seen in gameplay, so it'll just be interesting to see if the nerves get to them.
Pinson's a very good, aggressive team. They also have very good players, very good chemistry, and so us with a bunch of new incoming players and graduating players that have left, we have spaces empty.
I do have 14 seniors this year. However, we lost some key positions, so we have some young girls coming in to fill some players. Particularly for my girls, I had to replace my center midfielder and my goalie.
So when we play this team, this is how it's going to go. They're fast, aggressive, they communicate. And that's the stuff we need to work on to make sure we get what we need to get done.
It's always a good, aggressive, fast-paced game. It's a great way to start our season. I like to see what my players have, and so it's a fun time. I mean, it's aggressive, it's fast, and it's a good game to watch.
You know, with this team, I've got some great returning players, but I also have some new young players that know the game. They fit really well with the team from the girls from last year, and I think they mesh really well together. So I'm really excited about watching this team this year. I think that in the past, we've made it out of area, made it through a couple of rounds of playoffs. I would love to see us continue that. And, you know, hopefully, who knows, make it to the state tournament. With the way this team is this year, I go into it, everything is a clean slate, no matter what we did last year or the year before, because like I said, I think that this team is very different, and I look forward to playing all these teams again, especially getting the revenge on the ones that beat us last year. Enjoy this game, watch it, have fun. Getting young kids, get them out there, get them starting to play. It's a great sport.
That information back to live action here at Pinson Valley High School. Pinson Valley Indians taking on the Golden Gophers. The score 1-0, Indians up.
Yeah, Hueytown came out with the same shape again. They didn't really play all that poorly. They midfield wasn't as connected as I think you'd like to be. Defense got the job done when needed for the most part until that goal. You know, they played really well for 32 minutes. But there hasn't been much to connect the defense to the offense. The attacks we have seen from Hueytown have come through the left side where Elizabeth Trejo was often, maybe too often, but that's where she liked to go through I know they want to get Alyssa Burgess more involved in the middle of that attack, but it's clear they want to go through the left side. And then meanwhile, Pinson Valley, I think you're going to see a lot of the similar stuff from them, just maybe be a little bit more patient with some of their shots. They had opportunity to score 2 or 3 more goals in that first half that they rushed in the attacking third. So a couple of adjustments, I'm sure, from each coach getting ready for the second half.
All right, some of the nuances here, Caleb. Do they switch sides after halftime?
Yes, they are going in 2 different directions. Good note, just to make sure we are all on the same page, as Pinson Valley is attacking the goal to our left, and Hueytown is now attacking the goal to our right. And if it is to be noted that both teams use the same sideline. They share that sideline, benched on either side of the 50. And then you come into the 50-yard line for the substitution, as we mentioned earlier.
That's convenient.
It is. It's easy for the refs to see. You don't have to look from either side to figure out where they are, who's subbing in, which coach, which sideline. You know, you stay where you are and you stay seated. If you're standing up, then they're going to assume you're trying to sub in. So,
yeah. I'd like to thank our great crew from Jeff Coed TV, great photographers and folks behind the scenes, making everything look good for you guys at home.
Good push here from Pinson Valley. Not enough speed to get down there. Hueytown plays it safe. Probably smart. Think they were about to be outnumbered. Defense needs to track back here.
Now, one of the things you said before we went to the break, and maybe some folks just tuned in, that the game is a whole lot faster on turf than it is on grass.
It is. That ball will skip very quickly. And they are going to get a goal here.
Goal!
Yeah, off a little bit of a busted play, it looks like. The ball just bouncing around. And again, that's going to come from experience with Natalia Fitz. She gets out there. Actually, that would be Ava Fitz. They did make the change. That would be the younger sister.
And is that just your goalie out of place, out of position?
No, I think she had the right idea. I think she got caught in between 2 minds. She got caught between going for the ball and sitting back and waiting. And you got to do one or the other. You got to commit. That's something, as a goalie, is always commit. You have to commit to the ball, because if you get caught trying to do one or the other, then you're going to be doing neither, and that's exactly what's going to happen. And the ball ended up just rolling in there. I think that was Jayla Londano for Pinson Valley who got the final touch into more or less an empty net. I'm sure the goalkeeper change as well is more so making sure Hueytown's thinking, hey, get both of y'all experience. You've never played before. This isn't, win this and lose this and then the whole season's over. This is your first game. You want to get experience. You want to test some stuff out. And that's not to say Ava Fitz won't have an even better rest of the second half, despite a slower start than her sister had, who had a great start and maybe a slower finish. So,
right.
But doubling their lead to Hueytown's at the point they really need to get the next goal to get back into this. It's going to be called back for offside.
And explain offsides for the folks at home, if you will.
Oh, boy. Okay, so it's simple, and I say it's simple because I see it so much when I'm watching, right? The idea is you cannot be behind the last defender. Technically, it's 2 defenders because the goalie counts as 1. You cannot be behind the last defender when the pass is made. Otherwise, you're offside. So you see Hueytown's line right now. If we can take it out wide, next time we do that, I'll be able to show it. There's an offsides again right there.
Okay.
But the thing, Hueytown's defenders, they're back 4 in a straight line. And that was Courtney Henderson, who was a little bit behind them when the pass was made to her. And so she's not allowed to go track it down because she's offsides. Think of the offsides line. The line of scrimmage is where your last defender is.
Gotcha.
And it's not when the ball crosses that line. It's when the pass is made. So if the pass is made from way back here, if the pass is hit, you can chase it down behind the defenders. But it's when the pass is made. This one's going to be called. That ball was out of bounds before that pass was made. And that's why you'll see, I mean, you look at Pinson Valley, you don't have anyone down here, right? It's not because they're just trying to follow the ball. It's because they cannot be down there while the defense is way up here.
Gotcha. All right, that's soccer 201.
Oh, that'll be soccer 102 at the very, because that's something, it happens so often that if you don't know it, you're going to be questioning it a lot because it will be whistled several times in every single game. And some of them are obvious. I don't think we've had too many. That last one was probably the closest one we've had so far. And then you can get into the, you can't be offsides if you're in your own half. Say the entire defense is way up here.
Yep.
Clock is stopped here. Looked like for an injury. Going to make her go off.
All right. While we're dealing with that, let's talk about what else is going on in Jefferson County on Jeff Coed TV coming up. Softball, Spain Park in Gardendale, February the 24th, 4:30. Hope you'll join us right here on Jeff Coed TV. Again, the softball edition on February the 24th.
Since I will not be on the softball call, and that's on February 24th, I'll use this time to go ahead and shout out my brother. That's his birthday.
Oh,
so there you
okay.
go.
Well, happy birthday. What's his name?
That is Zeke.
Zeke, happy birthday.
He
Jeff
lives
Coed.
in Queens. He is not watching. I appreciate all his support, but I am convinced that he probably doesn't.
Send him the link and tell him you gave him a shout out.
Hey, he's just a big soccer fan. If there were broadcasts, he's certainly watched some football games in the past. He would probably tune in for something like this. Maybe I can text him, get him tuned in for the second game.
That's right. And even if he doesn't catch it live, you can send
That's
him the
right.
link.
That's right.
All right. He can watch it tomorrow or on his birthday, and then it'll make sense.
Yeah, this is a big response from Pinson Valley out of the break. They have controlled possession, controlled the ball, controlled chances.
Oh, missed opportunity there.
Huge chance for Mariana Mendoza. Couple of chances she would like back so far in this one. Good job running that down, getting the perfect touch to set her up, and Ava Fitz put her just off to the side. Shot went wide, didn't even need a touch from the goalie.
Another goal. Goal!
That's a terrific run from Marley Cornelio down here on the side. Terrific run, shaking off a defender, keeping control of the ball. That's what you talk about, a soft touch while also running full speed. That's what you need to do. Play it across the face of goal. And on the other end, Marilyn Rees.
What a great pass.
That is a terrific pass. That put it into a dangerous area. It's what you're taught to do. You might not score from that angle. Play it across. Trust your teammates to be there. No one was marking her on the far post. And a good finish. 3-0. It's starting to feel a little bit insurmountable for Hueytown, who has not put together an attack since the early moments of the second half.
And just as you say that, there was one trying to form. It's a little short-lived.
Good job touching the ball around the defender. And again, you're an attacker. You got to just be like, well, slow down that touch, not do it as heavy because you're playing on turf. Grass, that ball slows down, you probably chase it down. Oh, good read from Alyssa Burgess. Great finish, just like that.
Goal!
Wow, I mean, that was a terrific read on a back pass, and that's when Maddie Aviles is going to want to get back. Alyssa Burgess has not had many chances so far in this one, and she was going to make sure to put that one away as soon as she had an opportunity. Picked the pocket, ran into the box, no one in front of her. Good job.
I really think they heard you up here, and they took the challenge because you were just saying, 3-0 is pretty insurmountable, and then just like that, they scored 45 seconds later.
Yeah, that was within a minute. Both those goals came in the 45th minute. That's just a terrific response. Because three goals still almost feels insurmountable because you kind of wish you had gotten that one when it was 2-0 and not when it was 3-0. But it's a response that you want to see, especially this early in the season when it's like, hey, again, you want the result. It's not the end of the world if you don't get the result. And what we want to do is go out here and play the full game. And Alyssa Burgess has been a little frustrated at times, but certainly she wanted her chance, and when she got it, she took advantage of it.
You know, and let's talk about Hueytown. Let's talk about that family connection, right? We've got some sisters on that team. You've got Adriana and Amelia, Allie and Giselle, Natalia and Ava Fitz. I mean, so you've got some deep family roots and ties on that Hueytown team.
Yeah, they do. It's Coach Lee says it's like a family out there, and we already talked about, the sisters in goal. That's the Fitz sisters that come from the volleyball team that have come over. That's a senior and freshman. Allie Corona is number 22. You've seen her quite a bit on the right wing for Hueytown. She put pressure on that goal just a second ago. She's about to get the ball there. She's been one of their go-tos in their attack this season, as well as last season. And Adriana, you heard in that package at halftime speak, she's certainly one of their leading defenders. And a veteran defender plays center back for them. So they, that's one of those things where they talk about building a program, having a senior and a freshman both play. That's continuity in the program, and that is just a start. Obviously, you want girls to play club, you want to play at the youth level, middle school program to start up for Hueytown actually, but community, that kind of program starts with family involvement, and that's big to see for Hueytown.
If you're just joining us on Jeff Go Ed TV, we are at Pinson Valley High School where the Indians are hosting the Golden Gophers of Hueytown. It is an incredible evening. Temperature great out here, light breeze. I mean, it feels like spring tonight.
I know This kind of feels like a fall football game, if dare I say.
I'm just happy it's not raining. It seems like a lot of times we come to Pinson Valley, it's raining.
Let's not jinx it. There's like a 3% chance tonight or something like that. They're gonna stop the clock. Just a conversation there. They moved on, asking to run the clock now.
Oh, was that a sprinkle?
Hey, easy.
Just kidding, guys. Just kidding.
We're going to send Chris home. Oh, you know what? That would get you off too easy, actually. If it starts raining, we're leaving you here with all of the equipment. We're all going home. Great move from Courtney Henderson. Her first big involvement of the second half. And, again, sometimes it's just a coach will tell you if you don't feel comfortable trying to play that ball and control it and get a pass, then kicking it out is your best option. And I think right there you're thinking you wish that it would have been kicked out towards the sideline because then it'd be a throw-in instead of giving up a corner kick. But, again, if you get the ball out, if you're making the decision, if you feel most comfortable kicking it out for a corner kick, then that's the right decision at the end of the day.
So let's talk about, you remember the movie Bend It Like Beckham?
I do.
Corner kicks can be exciting, right? That's where you see a lot of your headers and things like that happen. So let's talk about manipulating the ball.
Yeah, it's putting curve on a ball, it's sometimes some people will tell you that, especially once you do it, once you learn how to play soccer, you curve a ball that you don't want to curve, and that sometimes it gets away from you too much. But, if you really want to start talking about, it's going to be offside right there. You're going to talk about, like, using the outside of your foot, putting a ball where you want it, trying to curve while on whether you're talking about an out-swinging corner or an in-swinging corner. There's different tactics that go into how you want that ball manipulated, not just knowing how to do it. The first step is obviously learning, where to kick the ball and how much speed and,
Yeah, and
how to curve it, how to put spin on it. But then the next part is how to do it or when to do it, when the best time to do it. So
can you do it on demand?
Yeah.
And from a golfing standpoint, which I love golf. I mean, when you can hit a draw or a fade on command, that this has got to feel like that when you can
yeah.
have some of those corner shots of the soccer ball or make it move the way you want it to.
Yeah, and that's kind of every sport, right? If you can control the object, the people who can control it the best are going to be the best at it. That's it is. It's very similar in that sense to soccer because control when we talk about soft touch, control when we talk about where to make passes. A great touch from Courtney Henderson. Speaking of touch, she's in on goal.
Goal!
And that touch, that's what Courtney Henderson's been wanting this whole time, a perfectly weighted touch out in front of her. She's been outrunning everyone in this game. Ava Fitz gets a hand on it, cannot push it outside the post. That's a terrific solo goal from Courtney Henderson, just an 8th grader.
She had some heat on that.
It did. Probably something to say. It's like you could have slowed it down even more, but you're running full speed. It's hard to do as Hueytown goes to make that goalie change as Natalia Fitz comes back into the game. Ava Fitz can keep her head held high, certainly. Nothing wrong with how she played.
Actually, tough team, tough attackers there. But there were some style points on that goal too. I mean, right? She's sliding as she's kicking the ball to the goal. I love it.
That's you see it as style points, right? In a coach's mind and maybe in her mind too. She's probably thinking it's like, well, you shouldn't have to slide for it. You want it more in control. You want it close to your feet. You want to be able to slow down, take your time. But no, that's a terrific finish. When you're going that fast, getting the ball on target, as we've seen tonight already, a couple of missed chances, getting the ball on target's not as easy as it might seem. So that's a good goal.
Pinson Valley firmly in control here.
Go out for a goal kick. And it's starting to feel like every attack, the wrong touch, the wrong bounce, it's going to go Pinson Valley's way.
That's the boys. Don't forget, coming up right after this at about 18 minutes or so, a little bit after that, we're going to take a break. But the boys are coming up, the Pinson Valley Indian boys and the Golden Gopher boys.
You just see that space between not only Hueytown's back line and their forwards, but also Pinson Valley's forwards and their back line. There was a lot of space, not many midfielders there as they haven't been needed too much. These goal kicks have fallen short. Hueytown goes forward now. It'll be easily taken in. Again, that's when you talk about a goalie who knows when to come out, get to the edge of your box. Go get the ball, help out your defense. Don't wait in goal. That comes with experience. Pinson Valley has Rosa Andres, who does have that experience. Hueytown is hoping to build that experience with someone like Natalia Fitz.
You know, the stamina of these young ladies, I mean, you know, there's been nonstop action. There's not a lot of walking around. And so, obviously, you said they're playing into shape, right?
Oh, yeah. That's and again, you'll see more substitutions early in the season, especially a team that is deep. They want to, get people in who need to build up that shape. But you also see, I mean, you're looking at Pinson Valley, you see your captain still out there. Have we seen Maddie Vilas come off the field? Have we seen Marley Cornelio come off the field? They've been out there quite a bit, and there's a reason why they're captains, and there's a reason why they have experience, and there's a reason why it doesn't take them long to get into soccer shape. And again, that is something why several coaches and a difference in programs comes from programs and teams who have players who play at the club level, who play soccer year-round. If anyone would chase that down, it would be Alyssa Burgess, but that one just skips away a little bit too much. You can tell that she wants to run. She wants to run in and out. Put that ball out in front of her. Let her go chase it down. She's got some energy left.
So now we've been sitting here, right, and we've been watching this. What have you seen in terms of strengths on this Pinson Valley teams? Is it the wings? Is it the attacking midfielders? What strengths are you seeing?
Well, I think defensively they've been impressive because they haven't needed to do too much. They've had possession, but defensively when they've been called upon, they've made the smart plays, and they haven't tried to do too much in the back. They haven't forced an issue. Hueytown tries to make you make a mistake, and they just haven't made a lot. They made one, right, and Hueytown capitalized on it. And Hueytown's the kind of team, they have forwards who, when you make a mistake, they're good enough to capitalize. They're good enough to jump on those loose balls and score. Pinson Valley just hasn't given them the opportunities. They're very sound defensively. And then also what you just saw them do just then, strength when dribbling. I think obviously you want to be able to build attacks through passing maybe a little bit more. We saw early in the first half that passing was a bit of a strength, but a lot of it was loose balls that they kind of have jumped on in the attacking third. They've dribbled the ball very well, especially through defenders. We saw it on Courtney Henderson's goal, the one touch through 3 defenders. We saw it on Maddie Avila's goal, from the left side of the box when she made 2 defenders miss. So they have individual strengths attacking. I think the team strength comes in the defense. Talk about Maddie Avila's and her skill on the ball, being able to drop in and defend that give and go that Hueytown tried to pull it off with Les Petrejo. She defended it and dispossessed as well. She's back on the ball again.
Did you say dispossessed?
Dispossessed.
That would be the same as a steal?
Correct.
How about that? Dispossessed.
Apologies. Sometimes it just happens.
I love it.
A little bit of a panic from the
close
crowd there.
Call there.
I think it's funny in those moments. Like sometimes the crowd and the coach and the bench are more panicked than the actual goalie because, you want to catch that cleanly, but the idea is just to make sure it doesn't get too far away from you. Like if she catches it and drops it in front of her, that's the way you're supposed to do it. You don't want it to drop behind you because that ball can go anywhere.
Right. And just by rule, if the ball crosses, it doesn't have to hit the net if it crosses the cross beam, right?
Crosses the line, the line that you see down there, that yellow line that's painted right underneath the cross post.
Yeah.
That is right in front of the back of the end zone.
So
that's the line that needs to cross. The entire ball has to cross that line, which is the same for out of bounds. The ball has to completely cross the out of bounds line. It can be on the line. It could be almost all the way over the line, but it has to be all the way over the line for it to be out of bounds.
Yeah. So that was kind of her sense of panic to make sure that it did not cross that plane, so to speak.
It's Hueytown's first corner of the night, I believe. Good job from Rosandres to be able to step in, call off her defenders, and control that ball from coming in on the near post. Terrific touch there.
It takes some real courage to lay down when somebody's kicking something towards you.
One more ball. Oh, just a little soft. That was nearly ideal counterattack. You try to draw it up. Off a corner kick, you have so many Hueytown players forward. Save from the goalie. Kick it out quickly. Avila's controlled the ball. Took 2 dribbles, played it out in front of her wingers. Good job, Hueytown, to get back defensively. At least forced a corner kick.
Great protection there. She watched that all the way into her hands. Crowd of people around her.
Yeah, that was well done, especially for a young goalie.
And just like that, goal!
And once again, it's Pinson Valley just putting on enough pressure to jump on a loose ball. And Dono, I thought that thing was going wide, kicked in off the far post and dropped in. As you see, Tanya Fitz doing everything she can to try to keep that ball out. But it did cross that yellow line that you saw. That was actually a great shot of what is a goal. It's not just hitting the net, not just hitting the side net. It hit the post, crossed the line, and it came all the way across and hit the other post. But that does count as a goal.
Now, I will tell you what I did see in my novice status is that the attacker used her body to shield the defender away from the ball to get in position for that score.
Yeah, that's the name of the game right there. You want to be able to control it with your feet, but you got to control the defender as well. Force them to go through you. You know, it's like protecting a basketball. When you're dribbling with your right hand, you have a defender on your left. Make them have to go through you to get to that ball because, yeah, you can make good defensive plays still, but theoretically, if they go through you to get the ball, that will be a foul call. So protect the ball with control, but also protect it with your body. Second goal for Londano. She has recorded a brace. If you want to learn more terms, a brace is 2 goals. Hat trick is 3 goals.
Okay. I knew hat trick, had never heard of brace. Well, this has been fun, Caleb. I mean, really, you're going
to know all the terms by the second game. It's a loose ball, scramble in the box. That's a good control just to be able to dribble that ball out of there and end up forcing it to the sideline.
The thing about Jeff Coed TV is, not only do we cover sports, we cover graduations and really interesting stories in the Jefferson County educational system. But, we also learned. We learned new sports. We've done wrestling.
We're going to award a penalty here. Late challenge on Alyssa Burgess' shot. Another takeaway that Hueytown tried to capitalize on. It's like defender came in late.
We haven't seen this today from that spot.
As believe this will be Elizabeth Trejo who takes this. Alyssa Burgess won it. Trejo ready to take it. So we've seen her use her left foot quite a bit.
It's a good look at number 7 there.
And ideally, you're looking for corners, right? The goalie will typically try to guess one way or the other, and you want to put it where they can't get it anyway. And that, you can't get a better penalty kick than that.
Goal!
Directly, and I mean that is that's about as good as it gets.
I mean, there's not going to be a
goalie. There's not going to be a goalie at the high school level that will save that.
I mean, she looked her off. That was like a Tom Brady pass.
You could guess. You could guess it. That's why you don't follow the eyes and you don't necessarily follow the ball. Sometimes it's just you either guess or you hope that it's like not a great kick and you have time to get over to it. But there's nobody saving that. That's a terrific penalty from Elizabeth Trejo. So you want to talk about early on how this was going to be a low-scoring game, 5-2.
Really
this took off in the second half. This certainly took off in the second half. And obviously the game's going to open up more. One team stays in the lead longer. You're going to have both teams going for it. It's going to be a very end-to-end game. That's what we've seen as Hueytown has opened it up more. Pinson Valley has opened up more. And Hueytown's trying to be more aggressive to catch up.
I mean, certainly a good time has been had by all watching this matchup. Got a player down.
First yellow card. Yellow card is just a caution. You'll have your fouls, but then you'll have fouls that are either more tactical or if you slow down attack or if they're a little too aggressive. If there's some kind of intent to it, you'll see yellow cards. And at high school level, when you get a yellow card, you have to be subbed out. You can come back. You can come back in, but you have to be subbed out. And just like at any level, 2 yellow cards is a red card.
Red card
means
you're gone.
Not only are you ejected, your team has to play a player down for the rest of the game.
Really?
That is correct. 10 versus 11.
The little things you didn't know about
and
soccer.
You can get 4 red cards. A 5th red card, you have to forfeit. fourth, you can play with 7.
So do you see on the professional level some teams, let's just put it on an NFL level, like your Raiders or your Steelers that challenge that red card kind of aggressiveness?
No, it's not something that you can be like overly aggressive and want to be the fouls, want to play not necessarily dirty, but play hard, because you get a red card, you're going to lose. You're going to be losing most of your games. You got a red card for. That's going to be whistled off. It's going to be offside. Good turn there. Good ball forward. Makes the first save as it bounces around. The ball is still loose. Oh, teammate blocked that one. The scramble, Hueytown cannot get a clean shot. That's a great save from Andres. Going to be onside here because she was still in her own half.
Another goal!
Yeah, that was Courtney Henderson again. We saw her get a touch early to be able to run past everyone. That time she didn't even need to get a touch. Ball came out. Heard some calls for offside from the crowd again. I'm glad I said that earlier. You cannot be offside when you are in your own half. She was just inside the 50 when that pass was made, so she was onside. No defenders in her path. Stayed in control, did not have to slide for that one. And a good finish. Again, that's something that will be a teaching moment for Natalia Fitz, the goalie, as that's something you got to come out. You got to close down the angle as much as possible. Make the shot. If they dribble around you, they dribble around you, but you can't let them get within 12 yards and you're standing on the goal line. And they have the other side of the goal to shoot for. So that's certainly a teaching moment for her.
Again, I'm trying to put things in language that other people who are not soccer aficionados might understand. So that would be the equivalent of like soft coverage, right? Like you're hanging back when you probably should press and come up.
A little bit, yeah. No, I think some people might not know what that means also. but yes, it's a little bit like that. Goalies, they're just, for the most part, especially young goalies and not much experienced goalies, but they'll keep their heels on the goal line, and sometimes that's what you're taught to do, just to get comfortable so you don't run out and use your hands somewhere else. But you have 18 yards in front of you that you can use your hands. So you want to move, you want to use the goalie box. That's your box. You control that box. You don't just control the goal, you control the 18-yard box.
So while we have just a little bit of break in the action, don't forget that we have softball coming up. Softball on February the 24th. What day is that? I'm terrible with math.
It's Tuesday.
That's Tuesday. I won't be there. You won't be there, but our all-star cast, Matt Coulter and Ariel, will be there, and they will be bringing you Gardendale and Spain Park softball on Jeffco Ed TV.
Spring season. When there's so many sports. I mean, we're starting spring season. We're talking spring season. They're finishing up winter sports. Basketball state playoffs happening. Regional play right now. Sweet 16 happening. Elite 8, I believe, will start tomorrow, maybe Monday. And then before you know it, we'll have Final Four at Legacy Arena.
Yeah.
A few minutes left in this one. Result certainly in hand.
And I also learned, Caleb, that when there's a free kick like this, the person kicking the ball cannot touch the ball again until it has been touched by another player.
Correct. It's a good save there.
I did my homework.
That's it. That's it. And sometimes that one can get confusing, specifically on penalty kicks, because say you take the penalty and it hits off the post and it comes right back to you, you can't finish it. If it goes off the goalie, you can go up and finish it.
There you
if
go.
it goes off the post, your teammate can go up and finish it. But if it goes off the post and no one else touches it, you cannot be the first one to go up there and finish it. And that is the same rule that comes on free kicks. Because at the end of the day, a penalty kick is a set piece.
All right, here we go again. 2-on-1.
Woo, off the post. She will be offside. She will be offside. That's the correct call. Oh, man, I don't know if she got a hand on that or not. Natalia Fitz, she dove full stretch. I think she pushed that onto the post. It goes off the inside of the post, bounces back into play, ends up being offside on the follow-up because even though it wasn't a pass, she was ahead of the last defender. She was ahead of the ball at the time of the shot, and it came off the post. So, again, that comes back for offside. But I think that goes down as another terrific save from Natalia Fitz.
Okay. So tell me about the time. I'm thinking, and tell me if I'm wrong, we're in our 33rd minute or no? We are in our
32nd minute.
32nd minute. All
so
right.
you got to think, how many minutes have we played? 35. Well, technically we're in the 32nd minute of the second half, right? So we already played 35 minutes plus your 32, so this is the 67th minute right now.
All right. Are you guys following that at home? Do your math. Any way it goes, we're just under 4 minutes, and the score is 6-2. Pinson Valley in total control of this soccer match, varsity girls against the Golden Gophers, here at Pinson Valley on a beautiful, beautiful spring night. It's almost spring. It's still winter.
It's February. It's crazy to say, but yeah, it's been a great night for soccer and great night if you're Pinson Valley so far with the girls team. Season high, I believe, or tying a season high, 6 goals. Their 2 goals allowed are also a season high for them. They came in outscoring their opponents 13-1 through 4 games.
As a soccer player, is it demoralizing when you've run almost the length of the field and somebody just punts it back to,
Maybe a little bit. You probably get used to it. Oh, that one skims wide of the far post. Again, that's one that probably wishes you could have hit the inside of your foot instead of the outside of your foot. But could hit nearly a 7th goal. I thought that was drifting into the top corner from our point of view.
And you wouldn't think about it, and I don't think sometimes TV does it justice, how much ground the goalie has to cover. I mean, that's a pretty big area inside that net.
It is, yeah. It's it is the same size goal that they will play at the professional level. This is the same sport. I mean, you think of it as like, oh yeah, basketball. They play with the same size goal, right? So,
right.
But you're obviously smaller than the professional athletes who cover the ground. Probably not as quick as trying to cover that much ground. So yeah, it's you can say how it's low scoring. It's hard to score goals, but trust me, being there in goalie isn't an easy task either. It's not like you're sitting around waiting. You got a lot of ground to cover. And again, that's why what I said earlier about cutting down angles. That is so important as a goalie. You want to run out. You want to meet them where they are. Try to get to the ball as quickly as possible because you shut down their angle on how much of the goal they see.
Final seconds ticking away here.
think that got pointed out for a goal kick. Yellow card was been given.
Second one of the night. Comes in late.
I think a pair of yellow cards. Have been two players maybe chirping a little bit. And that's tough to swallow. 14 seconds left because, yeah, you have to sit out. But those yellow cards, they go on your sportsmanship tiebreakers. They will go towards, enough of them will go towards fines, towards programs in schools. So
so those things just don't fall off, go away
Correct.
after the game like
Correct.
a foul in basketball.
Sure, yeah, exactly. Final seconds tick off here. Final shot goes wide.
And Caleb, that will do it. Pinson Valley Indian girls defeat the Golden Gophers of Hueytown 6-2 in this soccer match. And we're going to hear from the head coach of Pinson Valley, Coach Stacy Ewing, coming up. But right now, we're going to go to a break. We'll be back with the coach. All right. So we're not going back. They have a little bit of extra time.
They are making them go back and take this last goal kick.
Sorry about that for you at home.
See just how much the ref wants to add on. I have a feeling this has to do with those clock issues early in the
That's right.
second half. And he is keeping the clock down on the field. They will always, you'll see all three refs, the ARs on the sidelines, as well as the head ref, who's the one in the middle running around. They will all keep time on their watches.
So I'm assuming if the ball goes out, it's over?
Not necessarily.
Just depends on how much time they put back on.
It's up to the ref at this point. I think some of the players are kind of wondering the same thing, thinking, is this game not over? And Hueytown's thinking, well, if we're going to keep getting chances, let's keep going forward. And that's going to do it.
All right, so once again, just so you know, Pinson Valley Indians 6, Hueytown Golden Gophers 2, varsity soccer for the girls. Coming up, we'll have the boys, but before we do that, we're going to hear from the coach, Stacy Ewing. But first, let's take a quick break from Jeffco Ed TV.
Welcome, we are Hueytown High. Every day is a great day to be a Golden Gopher. We are Jeff Coed Strong.
We're Pinson Valley High School, promoting achievement, respect, and success. We're Jeff Coed Strong. Fear the spear, go Indians.
Welcome back to Jeff Coed TV, where we have the winning head coach, Coach Stacy Ewing, on the sidelines. Caleb?
Hey, Coach, how are you down there? Congrats on the win. What sparked such an offensive performance in the second half of that game, especially after the struggles to get something on frame in the first half?
I think that they get so excited for each other that they truly want everybody to score. And once it starts going, it continues to go. So I think that helped a lot. And a good halftime talk.
Give credit there to the coach as well. Get a little bit of halftime talk. You speak a little bit. I know we talked. I got to talk to Maddie a little bit before the game as well. She felt like she was everywhere tonight at times. I know she had a couple of loose touches that she was the one that ended up chasing him down, but she was everywhere from the defensive third to the attacking third. What do you think of her performance?
You know, Maddie has been a leader for me the last couple of years. She started playing for me when she was in 7th grade, and she's all over the place. She helps these young ones, and I can't contain her. I'm like, just go, just do. And she sees where she needs to be to help out different places and stuff. So she's a great girl.
I know you talked about the senior leadership, but you also talked about the young core that you have. Courtney Henderson showed that off tonight. I know she got a couple of chances where defenders were around her, but the 2 goals she scored where she was just able to blow by everybody. How much of a weapon is that speed that she has and just that instinct when going towards goal?
We have Courtney, and we also have Jayla that was playing. She scored. She's my other 8th grader. And so with both of them up top, they don't get tired. They just run. And luckily they're able to get past people, and we're able to send those long balls up to where they can run them down. So I was really proud of Courtney and Jayla up there with their scores today.
And so what do you feel like the biggest takeaway for y'all is moving forward from a game like this? A few games under your belt now this season. I know everything, always looking towards section area play and all that, but what do you think was the takeaway from tonight?
I think the way we started, how we needed to change that around. Like, you can't start that way and expect to always come out with a win. You have to start out strong and finish strong. You know, you can't just wait for a goal here or there. You've got to pursue it, and you've got to make that happen and play that way the whole game.
That's certainly what they did in the second half. Congrats again on the win, Coach.
I appreciate it.
We look forward to seeing what y'all do the rest of the season.
Thanks, Caleb. Appreciate it.
All right, again, 6-2, Pinson Valley Indian girls varsity soccer gets the win over the Hueytown Golden Gophers, who had scored 2. We're going to take a break. Coming back, we'll have the boys on Jeff Coed TV.